Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, BeefLoaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, MySoxSummer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy-E.
Thank you, Chorizy. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If BeefLoaf calls himself a menace or talks about gilfs, you drink.
Oh, baby.
If MySoxSummer shows up in the comments, which he won't, you drink. And if I talk music or say, here's the thing, you drink. And of course, you can make both of us drink for a tip of $1.08 or more.
We'd appreciate more if you could, just like the Diageo on Monday night. You guys are very generous to us.
You know, we're staying up late for you here. We're staying up late, so way past our bedtime.
Oh, yeah, like
we
we wouldn't have been up late getting drunk anyway. No problem.
I've never had a beer on Thursday other than to do this podcast.
Right.
But BeefLoaf, speaking of drinking, what are you drinking?
Now, Chorizy, I hate to be redundant from Monday, but I went back to the Coronas. I'm trying to get the cottage Coronas knocked out. I think I'm going to get almost all of them. I think I still have 2 in the fridge. But I got a little bucket action going on here. I felt like it was a good choice for a night like tonight. I had a couple glasses of wine at dinner. Otherwise, wasn't drinking at all. And then the game goes into extra innings, and I'm like, fuck, these Coronas are staring at me. You know, when they have the internet, and it's like a hot chick staring at you? That's how the Coronas were staring at me. I was like, all right, I got to have one. So I had one while I was watching the end of the game. Fucking pure madness. But yeah, Coronas tonight, delicious. Teresa, what are you drinking, my friend?
I think I'm running it back from last Thursday, actually, because I got the High Life Lights.
Nice.
You know, I still got a good amount of these. So, like, you know, it's beautiful when you get that 30 pack for like $10 or whatever it is. And so, you know, I'm at the end of it, but we're gonna plow through about 6 or 7 of those tonight. I can feel it.
And Teresa, I appreciate that you last time when you bought beer, you went for the lights because you heard about my health crisis. We're incredibly fat right now, just like enormously fat. And it does help to have the light beer instead of the full calorie. I am having the full calorie night. Corona's not too bad, but some of the Yingling was just putting a weight on the boy. It is what it is. You know.
I just got some test results back from the doctor, and you know what it said, Beef?
What?
Too fat. You're too fat. Stop being so fat. I need you to be less fat.
We like to go out and eat. We like to go out and drink. You know.
Well, I took that, and then I ate. I went surf and turf last night at the steakhouse.
Of course you did.
Just a lot of protein. Just a lot of protein.
That's right. That's healthy eating right there.
Pretty healthy.
Don't worry about all that.
Beef, how you doing tonight, buddy?
You know what? Teresa, I wanted to tee this up for you because when I initially saw this, I was like, ridiculous. And then I thought, maybe not so much. So I saw this tweet out there. And it's from this guy, Kali Tyrell. And I'm sure he's some sort of comedian or some bullshit or whatever. But he says, I told my wife, saw Bo Jackson at the airport. And she said, the cartoon horse, ? Right? So I laughed at first and thought, all right, this is fucking stupid. But then I thought to myself, and I said, hang on a second. I asked Bonita. I said, Bonita, and Bonita's 16, should be 17 in January.
Yeah.
I said, Bonita, do you know who Bo Jackson is? She goes, no. I said, do you know who BoJack Horseman is? She goes, of course. She goes, I love that show. And what I was going to ask you, Treasy, what is the age line where it starts to be, they don't know who the fuck Bo Jackson is, and they definitely know who BoJack Horseman is. Like, but what's the era? Where do you start dividing there? Because my daughter's definitely on that side.
In the 20s.
In the 20s, you think?
Yeah. Because I mean, like, if you were born in 2006, why would you know anything about Bo Jackson unless you watch a lot of highlights? Like,
true.
And people don't even watch full games anymore. They just watch highlights of the fucking game that's on. They're not going back and watching Bo Jackson highlights.
Right. And the video game
is too. Here's the video game. Yeah, the video game. It's
old. It's so old. So it's not part of this era, you know?
And the other thing, Beef, is that, you know, we've talked about this a bit. Bo Jackson, one of the greatest athletes to ever live.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. Like, there shouldn't even be a discussion there. But is he one of the greatest players in either of the sports he played? No, because his career was just short. Like, he got injured. And like, so it's not like it's a storied career and he's a Hall of Famer and stuff. So it's like, Yeah, I get why someone would not know Bo Jackson. Now, if they don't know Jose Canseco, though, they should just get beaten with a bat.
Jose Canseco, see, he's more pop culture.
He is.
And he's had ongoing
stuff. He's still a wild personality.
Right? The only reason you hear
tracking
about
Bigfoot.
Yeah, exactly. Or he's hitting home run derbies. The only time you hear about Bo Jackson is crabby ass MySoxSummer complaining that he wouldn't sign some shit for him. That's all you ever hear about Bo Jackson. So I was realizing, like, man, that era of person right there, unless they're a megastar, these kids don't know shit about that. But they know BoJack Horseman. And great show, by the way. I was a huge fan of BoJack Horseman. So,
Beef, we do have a bunch of drinks lined up from earlier.
Let's get them
right now. From right now.
Let's get them before we hear about how you're doing today, my friend.
K-Dog says, more of a liability, Justin Jerschley or Wally money in 2018.
Thank you, K-Dog.
This is Wally money by a mile. This is like,
yeah,
it's not even close how many times, because back then too, there wasn't as much clarity over that it was just the three of us, Beef, me, you, and MySoxSummer as the 108, because we weren't doing the podcast that much and like doing all these other things. So like people would be like, oh, this fucking 108 guy did this or that. And it's like, that was not us.
He sent a picture of this to me.
And allegedly. And 9 times out of 9, it was Wally. That was the culprit. So
agreed 100%. But Wally did have a lot more upside back then. Now Wally he's a couple rows behind me. He's high. He's slumped over. We just checked to see if he's still alive back there, and that's all. You never hear from him during the game.
As long as you hear,
says Riku,
as long as you hear him lapping up some ice cream, he's well and alive. But Jerschley, like I got on Jerschley for that send at the end of the game there. But I do like that he's aggressive. I appreciate. Actually. I would rather have him be aggressive and be wrong sometimes than him to be a huge pussy and us miss out on a ton of runs against outfielders that don't throw well. So
agreed, totally agreed.
Bad one there. I said in, and the only reason I put it out there is because Plesac was saying how good it was. I was like, that was not.
No, it was not good. Sorry, Danny boy.
Jackie Treehorn says lasted longer than 4 hours. Got to call my doctor.
Cheers, Jackie. Jackie cracking my ass up. Man.
Call your doctor. Get your trophy. Pedro says tough L, but respect Red Sox on Joe Flacco heater. Yeah, I mean,
it's a good topic. He is on the Joe Flacco heater. Holy fuck! They got to make an elite shirt for the whole team.
And Sammy Davis Jr. says Eli and Candace forever. Oh, cheers! Cheers to you and cheers to them.
There's love in the air, Sammy Davis.
I mean, Beef, there's been a lot of White Sox Twitter romances. I don't know how many marriages there's been, but I think there's probably at least one.
Yeah, and there's been, and we're solely responsible for those, by the way.
Yes. Pedro just sends a sticker. Thank you, Pedro. Appreciate
Pedro.
you.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Pedro, you got to let us know when you're going to be out for a game, because we owe you some beers.
We owe you some brewskis. Yeah,
we owe you some beers.
There's no question about it. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm pouring a beer. I'll get to these.
No, do it. Yeah, take your time, bro. Take your time, man. We ain't going nowhere. Anyone who stayed up for this game still has the adrenaline flowing. They're not ready to go to sleep yet. They're probably happy that we're on.
We're gonna start guessing in like 5 minutes too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Kid Aquatic, my guy. He says he knows where Sam Squanch is. Cheers, Mike. Alexandria says, what a night for sports. We're so back. It was a great night. It was
agreed. I enjoyed the hell out of that, even being on the losing end. It really, regular season games, I like them all, but it's tough when you're not in the stadium to get that adrenaline up. And tonight I had the adrenaline up the entire fucking night, man.
I didn't sit for like the whole end of the game. Like I was pacing. I was like all over the place. I will say too, This has been a long sports day for me because I drove home this morning from New Buffalo, and I get home and it's just in time for the start of the Mets Guards, and I was like, I'm definitely gonna watch this noon baseball game on a Thursday. I'm watching this shit. I'm off. I'm watching it. What a great game! But all the shit that happened in that game. Austin Hedges striking out Luis Robert on 3 pitches was fucking incredible.
I saw the highlight of that.
I watched that shit live.
In prime form right now.
I was like, this is because Luis was like 3 for 5, I think, at that point, and like all singles. One was an infield single, and I was like, this is where Luis hits a home run, and then he's 4 for 6 with a home run, and like it looks like he's back. And no, he fucking struck out. It was beautiful. It was
absolutely not back.
He's so not back at this point. I would say that Edgar Caro is more back than Luis Robert right now.
They couldn't dump him at the trade deadline. They tried to get his house out there. They couldn't do shit.
Beef. I do want to talk about something really quick before I hand it to you for an ad read.
Yep.
Like I said, I was in New Buffalo, right? And I said, just jokingly, MySoxSummer's out there with the fam. It's his wife's birthday weekend or week. And I just jokingly said to him, hey, why don't you come meet me at the casino, brother? And he's like, oh man, it would take forever, blah, blah, blah. You know, you saw the thing, 56
I
minutes.
did see. Yeah.
I was like, hey, I was, just half joking here. I would have loved to seen him, right?
Yeah, of course.
The next day, I'm walking through the casino floor, and I say, Chorizy, hey, isn't that our friend Shannon? Beef. Like half of it, MySoxSummer's family was at the fucking casino.
Of course they were.
And he didn't even hitch a ride with them.
No.
And go like, oh, one of my best friends on earth is at this place. I should go give him a high five or something.
He's not.
Probably went to a thrift store, motherfucker. Probably was at a thrift store. Because I
went just in the outlet malls, but they're not there. They're by the blue chip casino. They're not by the Four Winds.
I would give him the benefit of the doubt and be like, well, he's got the kids there. It's his wife's birthday, but no way. That motherfucker was at some weird ass Michigan City thrift store. And he couldn't just take the hour out of his day to come say hello to me, man. So I don't know. I was gonna give him my Pope hat. It's not his anymore. I'm giving it to someone else.
That's incredible. Not shocking though. Not shocking. MSS sometimes he's on his own path. He's not. He's not interested. He's not interested. And even if the whole family was going, he already had a ride there. Chorizo. I'm good. I'm doing my own thing. That's fine.
But Beef, why don't you pay some bills for us real quick?
I would love to. When you're on the road with people who matter the most, second best isn't an option. Mazda was officially named Consumer Reports' first ever safest new car brand in 2026. An evaluation that sets a new benchmark for how effectively modern vehicles help drivers avoid crashes and protect occupants when one occurs. Mazda doesn't hide protection behind expensive upgrades. Advanced iActive Sense safety tech like automatic emergency braking and blind spot monitoring comes standard on every model. Top tier safety meets a drive you'll actually love. Mazda drivers vehicles that meet the highest of standards of safety, and while true to the joy of driving that defines Mazda. Ready to take a test drive? Visit Mazda of Orland Park at 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park, or schedule a test drive online. Check out our selection of Mazdas at MazdaofOrland.com. Mazda of Orland Park, keeping Sox fans safe all season long.
Oh, yeah. Love it. Love it, Beef. I found out today, our guy from Surfside, he brought me the Motherload today, also drives a Mazda.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Man. Good man.
Mazda
we got a drink here from Justin. He says, all Sox matter.
Appreciate you, bro.
Well, we're at it. Let's bring him in.
Let's do it. It's time for White Sox talk. We'll hit it right now. There he is.
Justin, what's up? Oh, you're muted, Justin.
You're muted, bro.
No,
there you go.
My bad. I was warmed up in the bullpen. 60 pitches in the bullpen because the Sox went into extra.
We got you hot. You're up, and then you had to get back down. You got to get back up. Apologies. That's our fault.
Dry hump.
It was
three
like
times.
Mark Burley in the World Series. It was good. It's good.
So I hope, like Mark Burley, you got a beer in there to calm your nerves.
I'm kind of stressed out tonight, Chorizy, so we're doing the Espelon.
There we go. There we go. I feel that.
Got to do a little bit of 108 tonight. This is kind of special. Good to be on the show with you guys, for real. So.
Yeah, excellent to have you on. I know I've been on with you, and I owe you an au jus still. I got you on my list. Might be a little bit in the off season. We got to get a one-on-one with you. But we wanted to have you on tonight because, Chorizy and I talked for 90 minutes. We talked everyone's fucking ears off about the trade deadline. but we want to get some other voices in here to discuss it. So what we want from you is your grade for the deadline, and we want you to defend why you believe that grade. And Chorizy is going to put the 3-minute ticker up there to give you 3 minutes to do that, and then we'll chat it up afterwards.
Okay. And your time starts now.
So it's actually kind of weird because Chris Getz didn't really spend any resources, any necessary resources, any lucrative prospects, like Mason Adams or Gabe Davis that everybody made him out to be. Oh, how could you move these guys? Well, we're a couple of years ahead of schedule, number one, so you can't really break the bank, and get into those resources. So, as far as a grade, I give it a B+ because I'm glad we stayed pat. Like one of the low key moves we didn't make. I'm glad Benintendi is still in the lineup every day, because at a certain point, even though you moan and groan about the money, the decline in athleticism, he's not even playing the outfield at all at this point. But you still need that bat and that presence in the lineup. And I feel like it's a personal thing. They're going to hold Benny and let him see this through, because you're not going to be, a scapegoat on the worst team in Major League history. Think about that. We're talking about a guy that was a cog in a World Series title, like 800 OPS, better than average glove in left field. And now he's been reduced to White Sox. In football, they call it a cap casualty. Yeah. I'm glad we kept Benintendi B+. We didn't really touch everybody was throwing George Volkow's name out there. Like, come on, bro. That's one of the Sox lottery tickets. They're not going to give it up for a Brazaban, or when I know I got a Brenton, even though Brenton Doyle's my boy, and we probably don't chat about that a little bit later. That's my boy.
I'm with you.
You're not going to spend any top 20 prospects. And I know Mason Adams was coveted by the people, but he's going to be 28 when he make his Major League debut for a competent team. So, La Piedra, he pitched tonight. If people talking like he's bad, it was rough. Like, it was runs scored on everybody. It was a high leverage, stressful day for everybody. So you can't hold that against Castillo. But the White Sox weren't going to really make any big moves. The market was just overbearing. Like, I had to overpay to marginally, all of those trade rumor stuff. They talk about the value and stuff. The White Sox wasn't trying to overtake that value. Going into the deadline, I knew that. But give them a B+ because we didn't sell any resources, and we did get better. At the end of the day, we got better. Give them a B+ and get on with your life, and be glad we're competitive. That's my big takeaway from the deadline. Seriously,
I like it. So your thought too is like they did shield some of the future assets they're probably going to need, because I've heard a lot of other prospect hugging, but to me, I don't think they have so many prospects that they really are hugging. They're kind of looking at this team that they have on the field right now that's playing well. It's not full right now, and we're not even sure certain guys are going to be in those spots for the long term. Right. So some of the guys coming, you start dealing up, those guys might be in this lineup next year or any year, 2 years from that. So I get that thought. With regards to Brenton Doyle, I want to get in with you here, Justin, because I like that move a lot. I don't know why. To me, just something went off my head. Like, the guy's been an elite defender. If they could figure out anything with the bat, that's my starting center fielder next year. That's the way I thought about it. What did you think about Brenton Doyle?
Hey, you make the move for the control, and I mean, you gave up Carlos Fielma. Like, you don't even know who this guy. I wouldn't even know who he was unless he was mentioned in somebody's trade. You know what I'm saying? But I've seen Brenton Doyle, and on paper, you look at the sub 600 OPS from a guy that you've seen hit home runs. He's been hurt, but at the end of the day, 2 Gold Gloves from the right-hand side of the plate. He can slug when he's right. That's the key right there, Beef. Slug from the right-handed side that could play an everyday center field position. Because even though you got rid of Luis Robert, you didn't replace that species of player. Right. I mean, imagine if Tristan Peters didn't work out. That could be a 650 OPS on a team that's 4 games under 500 instead of being 4 games up after tonight's loss. We got swept tonight, boys, by the way.
Yeah, that was tough.
But tough. I mean, with Brenton Doyle, sometimes I stay up all night watching MLB highlights because I love baseball fantasy. There has been times where I had to take a flyer on Brenton Doyle because I know he could hit. He could run a little bit. I mean, the swing and miss is going to be there. Sure. Any right-handed outfield bat, the swing and miss is going to be there. There's nobody that's not going to K 100 times and give you over 50 extra base hits. That's impossible. You're not going to find that. Brenton Doyle is in a position to where he's in a strong platoon. So I don't really, I would like a center fielder like that every day, but I don't necessarily have to use him every day.
That's a question to both of you guys, because you both like this move a lot. And it, to me, the one thing that's weird about it is if Tristan Peters is going to be the guy whenever it's the lefty lineup, do you see a scenario where they're both in the lineup, or is Doyle pretty much the weak side platoon guy?
Well, I mean, you can get creative like that. The White Sox built a very versatile team overnight. So if Brenton Doyle and Tristan Peters is in your outfield, who's not in your outfield? Because I could put Antonacci at second base, even shortstop. I'll put him anywhere. Emergency catcher was the word that was exhausted.
That's right. It's almost like they're eventually going to use him at catcher because he's the emergency catcher. It's crazy.
Prayers up for Joey Bart, by the way. That's crazy.
That was brutal.
Yeah, but I mean, it just depends on who else is in the outfield. Is it Brayton Montgomery in right? Is it Antonacci in left? You know what I'm saying? Is it one of them weird Venable lineups where Angel Acuna is playing left field? And I got Antonacci coming off the bench, 3 for 6?
I'm kind of wondering. I'm kind of wondering with the Doyle move, what does that mean for Acuna? Because you're looking at yeah. I mean, like I don't see where he fits now, because I could see a scenario where they're like, hey, we want to have a really good defensive team when we're doing the right hand lineup, and you could have Doyle, Peters, and Braden in the outfield, Antonacci at second, and put Mydroth at short, because you always want Mydroth's bat in there.
True. Yes.
You're sacrificing a little bit on infield defense, but your outfield defense is insane. And so I'm just kind of like, the fact that they put him in left field today, I'm kind of like, what is the plan here for this guy? Like, doesn't seem.
My phone and thought it was a mistake.
It seems like he's a pinch. He's going to be a pinch runner pretty soon. That's going to be his main.
Chorizy, when I saw the Brenton Doyle move, I immediately thought this is a typical Guts move where he's like, I think I can improve this team. I don't really know where he fits yet, but we'll see which one rises to the top. It was typical outfield chaos from before the season. They were just like, all right, that guy's pretty good. Put him in here. We'll see who ends up living through this. And like Peters is struggling big time, right? I was glad to see him line a single to right field in extra innings. So thank God the guy finally made some solid contact and looked pretty good there. But you can see a scenario. I don't think this year, Chorizy. I think it'll stay the platoon pretty strictly unless there's something happens, But next year is where I'm looking. It's like both guys are under control. They're just going to let these dudes battle it out and see who is the better one, and that's the one that's going to start. So that's why I was kind of looking at that as like that's more of a next year move, but it is nice to have the right-handed counterpart, because Peters, as bad as he's been against right-handed pitching since the All-Star break, he's been a 0 all year against lefties. You just can't. He's unplayable against lefties.
Justin, before we let you go, you got to let us know where everybody can find you, when you guys are live, all that good stuff.
I'm not gonna lie to you. King Mac's gonna hate me for this, but he's gonna have to fucking come outside, King Mac, because Chase Mydroff went deep tonight twice. And you've been on a little fucking tangent, Mac, and now you have to come outside. The streets are talking. But I'm one of the bad guys. You can find me on Bad Guy Radio. We took a hiatus. You wouldn't believe it. 80% of the staff used all of their vacation days at the same time. So I'm sitting there looking like John Travolta in a GIF. But you can find me with the Bad Guy Radio, the Blackout Show too, yelling at Gonzo, laughing at what Slavko.
I saw Slavko came back out of retirement. What happened?
Oh, bro, it was nasty. It was nasty work. It was like being at your therapist, and your therapist knew you were fucking up the last 2 months. Gonzo is one of the prospect huggers we talked about.
Oh yeah.
So and Slavko's big grumpy. Yeah,
he was big mad about the deadline.
Oh, bro, yeah. I love when we get the notification that Gonzo's ready to record the Blackout. You can find me there too. But man, thank you guys for having me tonight. It was pretty fun. And tell these people, stop being a Ken WO on the TL, please.
Well, hey, I'm gonna bring in one of your good friends right now, so you can say hi to him before you get going.
Yes,
Your guy Ken
Oh
W.
my God!
There he is.
My shit's about to die. You know what? I'm on. This is like the Undertaker.
You better get on out of here, pal.
Justin, thanks for joining, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, take care, Justin. Appreciate you,
man.
Ken, what's up, man? Oh, do you still got you there, Ken? How you doing, man?
What's
You
going
still
on,
there,
guys?
buddy?
How are you?
Oh, nothing. Nothing's good. Good. How about you?
Oh, I feel like we're only getting Ken's only hearing like every other word from us. There's
Struggling.
Okay. Okay. All right, Ken, I'm going to put 3 minutes on for you. 3 minutes on the clock. You give us your grade for the trade deadline and explain it. So it's all going to be you. We won't be asking you any questions until your 3 minutes are done. So you don't have to hear anything we say. Uh-oh.
It's freezing up on him.
I'll give him a fresh start once he gets in here.
It was the, you know what? I think you're right. It needs a velvet jacket.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I will say something that, Justin mentioned the Castillo start and saying like, it wasn't, everybody had trouble tonight, that. This is what you traded for. Like you traded for a guy who's supposed to give you meaningful innings, right? And you're not supposed to burn up the bullpen because he's in there. Otherwise, you would have just kept Fetty in that role.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
he only gives you four. He only gives you 4, 5 earned runs. But it was interesting, Beef, because we saw the full gamut of the stuff that you and I had talked about on the au jus, because I was like, okay, you might see some better defensive plays behind him. You did see that. There was a couple plays at third specifically that Vargas made that were really nice. Vargas did have a not so great play for him.
Yeah.
You also saw in a big spot where he needs a strikeout, he could get the strikeout, and he did. And then the next batter that was up after that, he needed another strikeout. He did not get it.
He couldn't get it.
And that's the difference between 22, 23, and 26 Castillo. And then what you pointed out, Beef, he's susceptible to long ball.
Yeah.
And Connor Wong hit one 8,000 feet off.
He did.
So
he did.
So I mean, like it was kind of the full gamut of like the outcomes that we felt were possible,
and it was all in like 3 innings worth of pitching, or 4 innings.
Because the first inning was lights out. It was fine.
It was great.
And so, but then everything else happened in those 3 innings, and it's like this is a very condensed version of what we talked about for like 15 minutes. So
yeah, no, there's no question about it. And you're right, Chorizy. I mean, okay, well, maybe you give one mulligan, but like I need 6 innings from him the next time. Like, come on, like the bullpen's going to be dying if you can't do this. Like, this was the whole reason, and this is the reason why a lot of people wanted another starter. They wanted another starter in the mix because you were in that kind of lurch where even if Noah Schultz is good, you can't really push him so hard because the innings limit's going to creep up. And some of these other guys too. I mean, with the exception of Anthony Kay, they're high up in the amount of innings they've pitched in their career.
Yeah.
So it's getting close for everybody.
I saw someone say, I think we need 6 innings out of Schultz tomorrow. I was like, you're right, but
I think we do. All right. I think Ken's back. You can bring him back.
Ken is back. You got us, Ken?
Guys, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Absolutely.
We can
hear you great. Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Now we're set. Let's do this.
I haven't turned on my phone. I haven't turned on my computer for work in months, and it wasn't working well. So.
You're just like, hey, work's gone for a while. It's not coming back yet. You don't want to jump back in there. I don't blame you.
That teacher life. I love it, man. So Ken, what I was saying, you get 3 minutes. You give us the grade. You explain why the grade. We won't interrupt you. And then after that 3 minutes, we can talk about it. You start now.
So I am going to go ahead and give Getz a C- for the trade deadline. I believe, he did a little bit. He addressed all the needs that you needed them to address pretty much, but I don't think he did it, balls deep like I wanted him to do it. So it's like, okay, okay, so we got the catcher, we got Joey Bart, but well, now we don't anymore. But when I was thinking about this, it was like, all right, Joey Bart might raise the floor just a little bit, but he's not a world beater at all, And then, okay, so they go and get Doyle to play center. And while I think, defense is important out there, especially if you're not going to address the pitching, you obviously need the center field defense. But at the end of the day, Doyle's, OPS is down in Acuna territory down there. Like, you could have did better if you had to. The bullpen guy, fine. Brazabani, he seems good. He's good, that was a good get. And Castillo, I'm a big Castillo guy, but I was a bigger Castillo guy 2 years ago and 3 years ago and 5 years ago than I am now. But at the end of the day, I think tonight being an exception, but I think he could give you some innings, and he won't have this innings limit over his head like these other guys are going to have. Burke's pushing up against it. Schultz, all those guys are up against, they're high in innings. So Castillo, he's not. So he's going to have gas in the tank. Hopefully he can perform a little bit like the old Castillo. And then, in the playoffs, who knows? Like last year, he went head to head with the guys, gave him a chance to win out there. And hopefully that happens this year. He's been good in his career. It might be a little too much to ask at this point, but we'll see. So he addressed everything that he needed to address, but he didn't go all in. And I don't know if I should blame him or the Reds GM, but somebody's an idiot because Stevenson should be on this team. Now the Yankees didn't trade for him either, so maybe it's the Reds GM that's the moron. But I mean, that was a perfect fit. Like if they would have got him, that would have been beautiful. That's my biggest miss was catcher. Like Joey Bart doesn't do much for me. He's not any better than Romo is, in my opinion. But that's about that. I made it 2 minutes 43 seconds.
I like the brevity. I like the brevity. Yeah. I will say it's when you say go all in, I kind of wondered. We talked about this a little bit on the Aju, if he actually had the ammo to go all in, right? I was
definitely thinking about that. One of their best guys they can't trade because they just drafted him, and then if they don't want to trade any of the pitchers or the two shortstops, what do you really have left? What they did have was Jacob Gonzalez, and they traded him for a draft pick. He might have been able to get Tyler Stevenson over here, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. But, they might not have had, like, the mediocre guys that they would be comfortable to trade that other teams would want. That's true.
Yeah, I think what I saw on the Zoom with Chris Getz, he talked about there was a certain middle level of guy that they don't have a lot of that was pushing some of the deals to upper guys that nobody else was going to have to pay, but they were kind of going to have to pay because they just don't have those guys. And so it's an interesting thought to like think about perspective wise, like they don't have the middle guys. They have guys as good as Bonham or maybe even Carlson, but the next level of guy right behind those, there's not much kind of there as far as the position players. And a lot of the pitchers, they're either using them, they've been bad, or they're hurt, or whatever the fuck. And they also don't have the teenagers. A lot of these teams got these Dominican teenagers that like everyone wants to trade for. They don't have shit when it comes to that because they're still rebuilding all that thing.
So that's when you look at like a Robbie Ray, right? And you go, oh, the Padres got him for what doesn't seem like a lot, right? But the Sox don't have those guys. Yeah. So you talk to the Giants and they're like, well, you don't have those types of guys, so we will take Billy Carlson. And they're not going to do that for Robbie Ray. And so I kind of get that.
Now, Ken, you had mentioned you wanted an upgraded catcher. It's something better than Joey Bart, whatever. But when you talk about like kind of going all in more, did you want a bigger, better arm, a bigger, better pitcher, or was there something else you're thinking of? Like if you were going to really barrel a good prospect or two, were you thinking kind of you want someone in the Jose Soriano range or like Kevin Gossman, or what were you thinking you wanted there?
See, I don't think Gossman's all that much better than Castillo is, so I'm okay with Castillo over Gossman. But if you were going to do Soriano or, Detmers was out there, the talk was him, then you got to think about it, and I'm not a big prospects guy, so I would have traded Bonham. I don't care, or Carlson, or really doesn't matter to me. I want to help this team, but I can see why they wouldn't do it for those guys. Now, if it was like a Logan Webb, now that's a guy that they should have did it for, but for whatever reason, the Giants don't want to trade him. So, he was off the board. So there really wasn't like that superstar that you could use those guys for. So right. I don't know. He did what he could. I still think he could have did a little more, a little better, but that's why I gave him the C-. It was okay, but it could have been better. Foster Griffin would have been nice. He would have been nice for the side.
So I think
he had a tough start today.
Yeah, Foster Griffin is a guy, though. Yeah, we talked about that on the Au Jus as well, where it's like maybe Getz didn't, like either they didn't want him, either they looked at it and said, I don't want to touch that one, or maybe it's just a thing of like this is Getz' first go at this. The creativity of like, let's do this bulk trade of like 4 or 5 guys that are kind of middling prospects. Either they didn't have enough of those guys to do it, or they just like didn't even get to that point in the conversation and moved on to something else. So like I'm unsure. And so that's something that I think we'll have to watch going into the off season and then next trade deadline, because we don't know.
For sure. Now, I would have gave the 2005 trade deadline a D or an F, and it turned out that worked out perfectly fine. Jeff Blum came in, hit a big home run. They won the World Series.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? So maybe Doyle will do that. Maybe he's going to take somebody deep on the Dodgers, and we're going to win the World Series. And this will be, look at this asshole giving him a C. It should have been an A. But yeah, who knows?
Hindsight's 2020. That's
yeah, for sure.
Well, apparently we have Babe Mydroth on the team now, so I'm not even worried about that.
Shit. Shit out of the ball. But
Chorizo, with regards to Foster Griffin, Sammy Davis Jr. says that Guardians didn't give up a top 20 for him. Yeah, they did. That was kind of a bulk style trade, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Chorizo was a lot of some younger guys, and there was one major league player that they put in there, and that led me to believe that what you said, Treasy, that the Getz crew looked at Foster Griffin like, he's not that good.
I think that's where it was, because that's the one guy, and we talked about it on the show. Is like that's the one guy that like you look at that trade and you go, they could have done that trade.
Yeah,
that's the one they
should
have
been
done.
In there.
My thing is, though, you hear all this talk all the time about their window of contention and all that stuff, and this is the opportunity. You're there now, like. This is the year that you should go for it, because you look back at years past, 93 and 94 were great. 95, they fell off the table. 83, they were great. 84, they fell off the table. 2000, they were good. 2001, they fell off the table. Like, you're there now. That window stuff doesn't, we're supposed to still be in our last window or just closing that window right now. And, see how that worked out.
No, you're right. Look at 2021. They go to the playoffs. They're very strong. 2022, they were more of an average team. They should have really gone for it there. And fucking Rick Hahn only gets Jake Diekman on a fucking salary dump and trades for nothing else. It's like, yeah, you need it. I agree with you, Ken. I think Getz looked at it like, look, we're not quite there yet. He doesn't believe this team is like fully settled. But all opportunities to go to the playoffs are precious, man. You got to take them all seriously. And so I agree with you. Like, I would have liked to see a little more catcher too, but I was okay with what they did, and it was fine.
Yeah, it's okay. But I was hoping for more when that morning started, to be honest.
I think we all were. Yeah. And when we started to see it unfold, I was like, probably not going to get that much more. But I was surprised that they did fill as many needs as I thought they were going to. Ken, before we let you go, tell people where they can argue with you. And are there any remaining spots right now for people to get follows out of your 500?
The 500, yeah.
I think I have 4 spots right now. I think I'm at 496 or 497, something like that. You can argue with me, Ken WO for life at Twitter. That's about it. That's where I'm at. Or the juice when I go on there.
I'll have you back on before long, and then everyone can yell at you about your takes. But they've been good. I mean, Miguel Vargas was one of your guys originally. Sean Burke was one of your guys originally. They're performing terrific. So you've been hot lately. I got to say that at least. You've been hot,
All right, Ken. thanks for coming on, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, brother.
You know, I'm not going to venture up to the 500 level to go talk to you, but hopefully you come down by us and we can chat.
All right, sounds good, guys.
Talk to you later. Speaking of chatting in the park, someone that we have a lot of great conversations with, especially when I'm there on a weekday day game, and I got a captive audience around me. Exactly. It's little Tina is going to join us here. Tina, what's up?
What's up, you guys? You know what, Chorizy? I do value the day games, so I'm so glad you called that out. Yeah, I don't have a job, so if there's a day game, I'm probably there.
I'm also
you walk all the way to the park, right? You have some sort of like you're sadistic. You want to walk like 20 miles to the ballpark, right? Isn't that's your quest on a Thursday, right? Isn't that the case?
It's more like I have a lot of free time. So like if I know I'm going to the ballpark, I'm like, one time last year, Willie and I were like, whoa, how far is it if we were to walk? And I live downtown, kind of close to the river, just for reference. And it's about 4.5 miles. And we were like, well, let's try it, you know? And I'll honestly, at this point, like I surveyed people on White Sox Twitter. So I have a lot of new places that I have to try like along the way. But I'm a regular at a coffee shop now. I'm such a fit girl. So since I'm walking all the time, like the other day I was worried that I was going to like not get there in time. And I walked like 17-minute miles, which is fucked. And I got there in like an hour 15 and was like, ended up waiting for like Jean-Marie classic, and patches. So I was like, all right, well, somehow I beat you guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's just some good exercise and it's a way to kind of like work off whatever the Cuban sandwich that I'm going to devour or, you know, the 5 surf sides that I'm going to drink. So
that a girl. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, now were you surprised? You knew that Patches was coming to the game. Were you surprised we were able to keep that so secret from the rest of the Twitter
creeps?
Shockingly, yeah, because like we were messaging and stuff and she didn't seem to like have a lot of attention on Twitter yet and stuff like that. And like, obviously we were all talking and like you guys knew she was coming, but yeah, honestly, she wasn't bombarded. It was not insane in that section. Like
just chill.
People were lit at Cork and Carry after like trying to take selfies with her and shit. But like, and she loves it. So
she's fine with it. Yeah, exactly.
We did get her to see her shoot down a guy pretty harsh. It was awesome.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was funny.
Yeah, that was fair.
All right, Tina, the drill tonight, 3 minutes. Give us your grade for the Sox trade deadline, and then back it up. I'm going to start the clock in just right now.
Perfect. Okay. I know we're giving grades, so I need to start with my grade, I think, at the top, because I feel like it kind of encapsulates. Wow, send help. It's 11:30. Okay, everyone. Everything I'm talking about. So I'm giving Chris Getz. I had him as a B-, but I'm giving him a C+ now in hindsight after like just the last 2 games. I think he prospect hugged more than he needed to, honestly. Like we have in some positions a surplus in like where we can part with some things. Like I made a hot take that I said, like, I need Chris Getz to be trading anyone that's not Rock Chalowski or Caleb Bonnemer. Like, and to get a starting pitcher, like all these other teams are bidding for the starting pitchers. When Cleveland got Foster Griffin, I was like, you've got to be kidding me at the fucking last minute. That was frustrating. I think that like the best prospect they traded, in my opinion, is Boston Smith. Like, I think he's a very, very diverse player. Like, he's a catcher, but he also plays outfield. He has a great bat. Mason Adams is someone that has been one of my favorite prospects since he's been drafted. Like, I was like full Mason Adams and still am. I wish him so much success in the future. But since he got hurt, he hasn't really been able to work through that. So I think that the ceiling feels like it might be like Davis Martin, you know what I mean? In my opinion. So who knows what he's going to be, but I think that to win now, it's a fair give up. Brenton Doyle, I know, is like one that is very controversial to everyone, but I'm in the camp of you guys that I think it's not a bad pickup at all. Like, they didn't give away very much for him. Like, I know Mason is like one of the big headliners, right? But when he didn't have any injuries in 2024, he had 3.6 FWAR. His slash line was really solid, even slugged 446 for someone who's just like an outfielder and is quick. 763 OPS, like that's way better than replacement level. His outs above average was pretty high, 99% arm strength percentile, 96 speed. Like, all the tools are there. He was hitting 260. He's in like 233. I think that there is potential there, and getting rid of Everson kind of sucks, but like, I don't know, if there's more upside in the defense, then I'm in on that, because like Tristan has worked out really well. I know I'm probably running low on time. So Joey Bart, I thought that was a fine move. I wanted them to get Tyler Stevenson or someone else, but they only got rid of Duncan David. So like, in my opinion, cool. It's really unfortunate that he got hurt though, and I hope it's not that serious, but I mean, broken finger, like what are you going to do? So not great. I am also going to do Huascar Brazoban. I don't have any negative things to say about that trade. I know people were butthurt about Gabe Davis, but like, suck it up. It's part of the thing. This is how it goes. And if he's going to help you win in the next 1 to 2 years, I don't care how old he is. Luis Castillo is having his career worst season. That is true. But his postseason track record is pretty solid, especially for bringing in the recency bias from last season. But his 3.67 career ERA tells me that like the tools are still there. He's not that old. People are talking about him like he's like 37. Okay, he's like, what is he, like 31 or 32?
Like 32, I 33.
Yeah.
I think. 33 now?
Which is how old I am. So like, fuck. Like, he's not needing AARP right now. So I think that like no one had a good start after they got traded. I think that's kind of like the nature of the beast too. I think once he settles in, gets to pitch to more like the catchers a little bit more, even though that's like a nightmare. But I don't know. I'm not that panicking about him. I just like, they needed to get one more. That's the last thing.
I do have a question.
They needed to get one more pitcher.
I do have a question for you, because I'm trying to get where everybody is in this. I think there's two camps here, because I think the one guy that we all agree the Sox could have afforded, that they actually had the prospect capital for, Foster Griffin. And I was as mad as you were when I saw him go to Cleveland, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I know how well we hit left-handed pitching, so this is going to be great. Yeah. Were you in the camp of we should have done that? Because I know Beef is kind of your Beef. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're out on Foster Griffin.
Yeah, right? I don't care. I actually don't think he's that good. I wasn't that, like, when that happened, I was upset that Cleveland bulked up in any way, shape, or form. But I wasn't butthurt that we didn't get him. I was actually fine. Like when we're looking at the level of pitcher, I was happy that we got Luis Castillo for nothing, as opposed to having to send someone real for that guy. You know, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I'm in that camp too, actually. Like, I didn't necessarily want Foster Griffin. Like, he wasn't on my like top wish list by any means, but I was pissed off that they were making bold moves and beefing up where, like, against us, really, like, and where things are going to hurt in the division. And I thought that was a really smart move. I mean, if it works out or it doesn't work out, like, he sucked ass today, but like, again, that goes with the trajectory of everybody else that was traded and started. So
pretty much,
yeah, like, who knows what Kevin Gausman's going to do tomorrow. But there was a lot of guys that were really attainable. And so even for like the prospect capital that we're giving up, it was kind of like disappointing to not get a little bit better quality. You know what I mean?
So if you're looking at all the people that were out there that we didn't get, that you were like, we should have nailed this. Who's the one person out there that you're like, man, we should have made this happen. We should have done whatever we could to make that happen.
I mean, I still think it's crazy that the Reds like made no moves, basically. Like, they ended up with all those guys. So like, in my opinion, it was an easy trade to be like, let's get Tyler Stevenson. Like, I mean, again, it's like, is that the best player? I mean, it's like, no, but is he going to help us? Like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that was something that was attainable, especially if you look at like already the prospects that we given up. When I heard that we traded with the Rockies, I was like, if we're trading with the Rockies, we better be getting Hunter fucking Goodman. And I'm like ready to see like Hagen Smith on my phone and whoever else. And I was like ready. And it was Brenton Doyle. So like,
Hunter, they're gonna wait until they're gonna wait until the Mets and the Giants and everyone else is in the market if they're going to trade Hunter Goodman. I think that's the weird thing about the deadline is because if a couple big teams are sellers and you have a controllable guy, it's tough to want to trade him. That's the Denver's thing. That's where like everyone thought Denver's was going to the Cubs, and then it died, and then nothing happened. And I think it's probably like a level of like, well, let's wait till they're back in too, and we can really shop this motherfucker and get something big for this guy. And so
the Denver's thing was so funny, you guys. Like, and then immediately after that, they announced that pitcher that has like an 8 whatever ERA, which like might end up being a good reliever. But it was like so funny that like that was the move.
They're like, fine, we're gonna do this then.
That was crazy because the timeline I was at one point, it was like Reed Detmers was traded to the Cubs, and then it was like the Cubs have not traded for Reed Detmers, and then it was like hold the phone on the Cubs and Reed Detmers. I'm like, what is it? Like,
what just happened here?
But yeah, I the Reed Detmers stuff. Like, I know everyone wanted him to come here, but I agree with you. I think that I don't know the whole thing about getting a rental when you know there's going to be a lockout too. After like, I wasn't going to be upset about that, but then I think that they shied away from things because of the impending lockout.
Yeah, agreed. Let's get these.
Look what Detroit got to do for fucking Scooble. Like, that's crazy. So
let's get these 2 drinks real quick from the same person. For Lame, he says, "Hang up on Ken again." That was earlier.
We didn't hang up on him. He had to jump off. He was.
Wait, speaking of Ken, I have not yet had the privilege of being a follower or him following.
Oh, him following. Okay.
I don't ever anticipate being one of his. So,
there's spots open. There's spots open.
There's spots open.
I see you. I love chatting with you.
And then this one I think was for
from
me.
A distance.
This one was for me and you, Tina. This is Lamb again. He says, "Cheers to unemployment." Cheers.
I saw that in the comments.
Bless you guys.
Yeah, it just had to happen.
Tina, other than in the stands on Thursday for that Cincinnati day game, tell people where they can find you, where they can listen to you, and where they can argue with you.
Oh God, don't argue with me. I get so scared. My Twitter handle right here at little Katina. You can argue with me, but if you're making a bad argument, I'm probably just going to send you a meme and make you mad, and then you'll block me. So otherwise, you can read anything I write about the White Sox at Southside Sox for SB Nation. I cover games on Tuesdays and do a lot of minor league writing and recaps and profiles. So always love to talk minor leagues. I think that's one of the issues really that we're having right now is that everyone's like, oh, but our minor league system was so good. Yeah. All the Barons players that won 2 years in a row are fucking on the field right now.
On the team. We're using those guys right now. Like
they are here. But anyways, yeah, this was awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me. I always love chatting with you. Always love digging deep into the White Sox, and feel free to argue with me anytime. But hopefully, see you guys at a day game soon. A gay day.
Yes.
I love a gay game.
That too.
I bought a wine,
Tina.
so I can't screw you. The game went so long. Bye, you guys.
Cheers. We'll see you soon.
That was great.
Oh, yeah. Great as always. And so Beef, the trade deadline was happening. We're watching all the shit go down. I'm in tons of group chats,
Yeah.
And so I'm in this one, and it's like a lot of Sox fans, and I don't ever talk in there, but I keep an eye and see what people are saying throughout the day. And during the trade deadline, like, it was madness. And like every once in a while I'd see something, I'd be like, oh, that's a good point. I think that's a rational way to think about this. And I told you, Beef, I said, it's fucking Carey every time I see this. Like, I'm like,
Were you shocked that it was Carey?
A little bit, because not in a bad way, but I just know I know Carey, and he's reactive. So I was like, okay, but he was like just making all these like really rational thoughts in there, and I was like, Beef, we got to have this guy on soon.
Oh, yeah.
So here he is.
Carey,
what's up, man?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Absolutely, yes, we can hear you. Cheers, Carey.
Perfect. What's going on, guys? Yeah, cheers with my
nothing. We saw your old Believe partner at the ballpark the other day, Steve O. He's a disaster as always. It was good to see him though. Got a good violent hug from that tall, skinny bastard.
Yeah, you know that he once flicked off my nephew who was 10 years old at the time. So right at the
shocks me not.
Stand, and I just screamed out, "This guy's an educator! What an asshole!" Yeah, big asshole.
Incredible.
Well, Carey, you've seen it now with a couple of the people that come through, but like 3 minutes, give us your grade, tell us why. I'm going to start your clock right now.
Perfect. I'll try to be as rational as I can be, right? And it's funny because like I'm like, am I having like a midlife crisis right now? Like I am being rational, like I think like 2020, 2021 made me be rational. So I think that really helped. But my grade's going to be a solid C, like a 76 to 77%. So like, pretty much how I got through college at SIU. Pretty much everything through school, just a solid C, and you know what? I'm fine. So, but I was originally going to give them a D until I saw them ship out, Anthony Dominguez. So once I saw that happen, I said, okay, we're up to a C now. We got rid of that asshole. So just to, because I haven't seen anybody that shitty since Ronald Belsario, if you guys remember him. So, every time I saw Belsario come out there, I think that was like 2010s. I was just angry with his glasses and everything. So it just gave me PTSD. But I will say, Justin made some good points, which is hard for me to say. And I got to commend him for that. But he did make some good points, right? Because like I do commend Getz for not getting rid of Bonnemer or Hagen Smith, some of our bigger guys, for guys like we've said already, Foster Griffin, right? Like, come on, right? But what is upsetting to me though is I did see what they give up for Foster Griffin and Casey Mize with like the Padres' decimated farm system, and I saw even what the Cubs got for Gossman, and just talking to some guys from CHGO that like are big in Cubs, like. They are like, I can't believe we even did this with Gossman. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? So I just wanted guys that could eat innings, right? And I think that's what Luis is solely here to do. Not be a good pitcher. So at first I was happy about him, right? And I think that was me just coping really hard about Luis Castillo, but and trying to go back to like 2021 Castillo, but we saw what he is tonight. 5 innings, 4 earned runs, just gonna, just struggle. So, so him, whatever. And BeefLoaf, I liked your list. I thought that was pretty much my exact
of the needs.
Yeah, that was exactly my needs. I'm like, this is exactly what I was like. I'm gonna retweet this shit. This is exactly what I'm thinking too. And Bart was that person until he broke his hand. And I feel like the baseball gods, the White Sox, are just like forcing us to watch Caro and Romo this year, especially after tonight. They're just like holding your faces, and they're just like, watch,
It's like a Clockwork Orange when they got
like, you're watching these guys tonight, like, and every night. And then to end up running over time, but Brenton Doyle, great fucking move, controllable. Even though 2024 he was a Coors Field absolute merchant. His road, I think his road OPS plus was like 65 and his home was like 100 plus, but he plays elite defense and that's hard to find in the playoffs. He's fast. So overall, I just give it a C, but this reeked of 2020, 2021. But just to end it here, guys, so I don't take too much more time, right? If you noticed one thing Getz didn't do, he didn't trade any of his guys really. He didn't really trade any of his true, like, I'm now the GM. My guys.
Yeah.
But the only one, but he made that trade for what? Curtis Mead. So that his guy.
Yeah,
and he was forced into the Curtis. There's roster things
Exactly.
forced him into
roster
the Curtis
crunch.
Meade. So
Yeah,
it wasn't like he was like, oh man, we need that Boston Smith guy. Like
Exactly. So like they didn't get rid of Bonnemer, Carlson, Foske, or I don't know how to say his name, Lodzi, or any of the Hagen, like Tanner McDougal. Right. None of those guys are gone. It was just like Boston Smith and Duncan Devitt and some of these
Mason
other
Adams,
Gabe Davis.
I'm like the prospect in the White Sox system. Okay, if you're mad about that, good luck.
Now, Kerry, I want to bring this up too because especially the way you explained your grade there. Chorizy had brought up the point when we did the Au on Monday. He brought up the point that Chris gets his first deadline where he's the buyer. Do you think, and Chorizy thought maybe it's just some inexperience why he couldn't get deals done that we thought were like a little better, or you look at other teams and say, okay, we might have been able to do that or whatever. Do you think that's some inexperience showing, or do you think this is more like you were just saying, like some of his guys, he just doesn't want to deal them at all. He wants to see the plan come to fruition.
I think a couple things. I think he had great mentors to learn under for the trade deadline, and Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn. So that's great. Right?
Perfect.
Those are my mentors, right? And fun fact, I saw Rick Hahn 2 days before he got fired at the Sox, somewhere in the Sox restaurant thing. One of my favorite things ever, because I'm like, oh, you got fired, bitch, like I'm like, I just saw you, and then but I do think it's more of just like, I don't think Getz even believes this team is gonna truly do much in the playoffs, maybe not even get there. So I think they're gonna get there. I don't want anybody to think, I believe
you're a naysayer or something.
I believe in Nick Madrigal, for God's sake.
I was there. I remember seeing it.
I try to forget about those times. That was my old account.
That's the old account. Okay, that doesn't count.
But yeah, I think he just didn't want to trade guys. I don't think he's ready yet. I mean, I don't want to trade Caleb Bonnemer for, I mean, he would probably get a Skubal, but like, what is Tarek Skubal even doing for this team this year?
Right. Yeah.
Nothing.
Give it 9 good starts. That's and then he's gone.
Because Jerry is not signing him.
No. Not at all.
Not at all.
Close.
If Detroit ain't signing him, yeah.
They ain't got enough pizza money for him. Ain't no way Jerry got enough money for that dude.
Unless like Ishbia sold some of his house and said like, here you go, Jerry. Like you can use this.
Move in with me.
Yeah, but you got to spend the money on Mune instead. I mean, that's where I want that money to go. So.
Yeah, I think that is where it's going to go. So
I hope.
I wish there were more money. That would be more. Like, get more than one guy.
I think we got to wait till 2032 until that time. So, but when I did go to Arizona, I was there recently, and I asked some Suns fans around the area because it was during the playoff time. I'm like, "Do you guys like your owner?" And like 9 out of 10 guys said yes, and I'm like, "Oh, that's good. God, this is like you ask 9 out of 10, you ask 10 out of 10 Sox fans, and like, I hope his life alert batteries die." Like
there are varying levels of disagreement with the owner, but it's 10 out of 10 people don't think he's a good owner.
No, not at all. Hate it.
Everybody's waiting for the changeover. That's for sure.
So,
people are rooting harder than others. I'm not so much rooting for some of that stuff, but I'd like it to change hands if possible, peacefully.
A peaceful, a peaceful
transition. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And if not, then I'm just going to go, be like Steve and storm the Capitol. That is 35th and Shield. So.
Now, Kerry, was it all starting pitching that you wanted, or any other positions you would prefer to upgrade that they didn't do? Because we had Ken on earlier, and then we also had Little Tina. Where both they felt that the catching upgrade should have been stronger than what they got in Joey Bart.
I mean, Kyle Teal's coming back. He's not dead, he is coming back. He is our future catcher. I wanted Tyler Stevenson. Do not get me wrong. I'm not going to deny that. But not for a price tag that they probably were asking, and that's probably why they didn't trade him. But I thought starting pitching like you said, get an innings eater, which I was like, Luis is that guy. Yes, we're actually getting a starting pitcher, and go get Robbie Ray, Casey Mize, one of those guys that aren't going to cost much. Even Foster Griffin, I fine, I just need a couple starts of him that's not named Eric Fetty or, Davis Martin the last 13 starts, right? So I think starting pitching was the most important. And the Doyle thing, I didn't even think was necessary. I didn't think so.
You would have just kept Everson and just said, fuck it, let's run with this. Yeah.
Everson and Austin Hayes, I'm like whatever. It's your backup center fielder. You still have Luis that can play center field as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that as an important move. I understood why he did it now, seeing the trade for it and the upside. He's trying to pull a Miguel Vargas, Curtis Mead type move, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the theme with Chris Getz so far is
he does like that.
Let's get him. Let's bring him in and let's see if he could be that guy. And I think it's worked twice, right? So
still good. Don't want to get two of them. I mean, but yeah, you're right. It's a low probability try, kind of.
But I think you're right, Carrie. When we look back on this, like 5 years from now, right? It's going to be the Kenny always gets his guy. It's going to be Chris Getz always gets the former top prospect. It's what we're going to look back on this.
Yeah, wasn't there that joke with Rick Hahn that he loved and kept on getting the 2017 or 16 prospect guys Clint Frazier and some of those other guys, and you're what are we doing here? There was that one pitcher from Atlanta that we tried for a few games, and it was just horrible.
They had 7 of those guys on the 2023 team before he got fired.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Carrie, before we let you go, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can probably argue with you on the internet.
If you want to argue with me about White Sox baseball or me just, pretty much just saying 3 words like PCA sucks and getting tons of messages and then just hitting mute on the conversation, find me on Twitter at that W Sox fan, or my newly found hobby of baseball trading. Go on my eBay so you can buy my cards instead of MSS's shit. So
all right,
fuck MSS.
He's actually been helping me a ton, so I gotta give him credit.
Sure he is.
Yeah.
Carrie, man, always good to talk to you. Hopefully we can talk to you in the park a little bit soon, and definitely have you on again in the future, man.
Absolutely, anytime, fellas. Great time.
Take care, Carrie. Appreciate
Thanks a lot,
you,
Carrie.
man.
Talk to you soon. So, Beef, when we were first putting this together, we both were like, okay, we got to have this next person. And originally the time slot was 10 o'clock, right? But the game goes, we got her in the goddamn Les Grobstein slot tonight. It's almost midnight.
That's what we do.
Julie Slika, welcome to the show. How are you?
I love you guys. I would have come on whenever. I don't sleep. I have a t-shirt that says I'll sleep when I'm dead. I have the worst sleep habits. And I love whenever any of my medical team asks me could we get your sleep schedule on a better, plan? No. I sleep 2 hours here, an hour there, whatever. And I was so wound up after this game tonight that I was, oh my gosh, I get to talk to my peeps because I had so much piss and vinegar in me after this
game. Oh my
game.
goodness.
I'm damn it, I need to.
Julie, I had the adrenaline all the way up from the 3rd inning. I was just up to here with the adrenaline. I just couldn't,
Yes. And so Chase Mydroth was my pick to click tonight. So I was losing my
shit,
mind.
he really clicked.
This is so great. I was watching the game outside of my patio. I'll drag one of my TVs out there and I'll hook up the Roku stick and everything. So I'm watching the Sox out on the patio and I'm enjoying an adult beverage and I'm loving life. And then as the game started to get worse, the mosquitoes started to attack me.
Oh,
and
no.
I was just F everything. I'm going inside. So I came inside, put the game on the inside TV. And then I was just, I wanted to be pacing, but I didn't want to I just kind of stayed where I was. I was stuck. And those Sox games where you don't even want to run to the bathroom because you're afraid you're going to miss something.
Yes. Yep.
That's how I felt.
Or you want to leave the bathroom door open so you can hear the TV. You're like, I'm not closing the door because I wanted to hear what's going on out there. Did he walk him? What the fuck?
Right. And what's even worse is if you take your phone, I'll pull up DirecTV on my phone and so I'll be watching, like walking to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, I can take 2 minutes to go pee because I have it on my phone. If this is what the rest of the season is going to be like, this roller coaster, son of a bitch, like, nobody thought we'd be in this position right now, but now that we are, we're spoiled. I mean,
yeah.
I'm mad that
we're going for it emotionally. We just can't help it.
I will say, I was watching it, and Julie, I was like you. I'm pacing. I didn't sit down after like the 7th inning, right? I'm like pacing back and forth, and like I stopped for a second and just thought to myself, "This is awesome." I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we have a team that I care this much about, because we like this time of year, like in the past few years, we're like, preseason football's on tonight, huh? Like, it's like I'll have to check out what happened in the game.
Rooting for losses, so we break records. Like that was so miserable to me. I hated that season. I didn't want to break any records. I just wanted to stop losing. And even now, it's so in the moment. What have you done for me lately? Like, I'm so pissed off that they got swept by the Red Sox that I've completely blocked out like the great series they had in Tampa. All of a sudden, I'm like, this sucks. We can't win on the road. This team
stinks.
Right. I feel so spoiled and ungrateful. And I'm so pissed off at Boston. I'm sorry. So a good friend of mine, we do a non-sports webinar together, and he is a diehard New Englander. He has Patriots season tickets. He loves everything about Boston sports. He doesn't like the Red Sox ownership. So he has been like pissing all over their win streak. Every time I'll be like, hey, your team's won this many. He's like, oh, they're just going to go on a 20-game losing streak. He's been doing this for like the last month.
He's one of those guys.
And so even before the series started, he's like, oh, get ready for the White Sox to sweep the Red Sox and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, just shut up. Just shut your face. And so like, I texted him this afternoon because somebody else had just said it on Twitter, and I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but I had texted him this afternoon. Why is this not a matinee? It's the White Sox getaway day. Yeah. Why is there no day White Sox, Red Sox baseball? And I didn't hear back from him. I'm like, oh yeah, he probably doesn't want to face me because he knows I'll trash talk him about the fact that we've lost the first 2 games there and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, this Red Sox team is a bitch to face.
Yeah, they really are right now. It's almost like they're cheating, Julie. Like I'm watching a bunch of no-name guys. There's a couple guys on the team that I know are good, but the rest of them is like, who is this guy that's like getting hit in this key
should not be knocking the shit out of the ball like he's been knocking the shit out of the ball.
Yes. Who are you? Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yes. And when
Julie,
I see these
I do have one question.
I'm like, you again? Oh God, I thought we just faced you the last day. But they're no-name guys, but they've been clobbering us. I never thought I'd be excited to face Cleveland, but I'm so relieved to be done with the Red Sox. I'm like, yep, bring on the Guardians. I'm ready.
Julie, I do have a question for you to ask that guy the next time you talk to him, though. Something that's confused me for years watching Red Sox games is why is every time there's a ball that's hit into the stands, there's one guy out of nowhere that is wearing a collared shirt and slacks and looks like Peter Gammons. It's like they somehow are always near the foul ball. It's unbelievable, and I'm just like, why is this guy at the game? What did he come straight from work on Saturday afternoon? What happened here? So you got to
certainly ask him.
Maybe that is just a New England look that I'm not familiar with. Living on the south side of Chicago.
Well, what's funny is he originally was going to have me out in Boston this week. He was going to have me do some freelance interview stuff for him. And so he was going to have me come out to Boston. And I would have gotten to see our Sox the Wednesday night game. And at first I was like, oh, I'm not going to see the games. And now I'm like, oh, I would have been so miserable if I had been out there like in my White Sox shirt cheering and everything and just having to listen to the Sweet Caroline people, trash talk. And I'm glad I missed this series. You get so excited to see your team on the road. And like the last Sox road game I saw was game 2 up in Milwaukee to start the season. By the way, if people don't remember, they got swept in Milwaukee and it was a bad opening series. And the only good thing was Mooney homering. So you want to like bring them good luck on the road, but man, I'm just content to like drown my sorrows on my couch and not be wasting money to go on the road and, be pissed off and yelling at our Sox the entire time.
All right, Julie, 3 minutes. You give us your grade and then defend it for the trade deadline. Your time starts now.
All right. Well, I feel like my girl Tina stole a little bit of my thunder. I am giving Chris Getz a solid C. And the biggest thing I was disappointed in was that they didn't get Tyler Stevenson. I was so pissed off about the whole catching situation. There were like 6 catchers that got traded. And I mean, the only team that could be maybe more pissed off than White Sox fans about not getting a catcher is the Yankees, because the Yankees saw the teams ahead of them and behind them, Tampa and Boston, get catchers, and the Yankees needed a catcher and did nothing. But I felt like Tyler Stevenson was the guy. And when he caught Luis Castillo, caught him for 22 games when they were in Cincinnati together, Castillo had an ERA of like 2.5. And as I'm watching Luis Castillo not get past 4 innings tonight, I'm thinking, I wonder if it would have been any different if he had Tyler Stevenson catching him and not Joey Bart. And then Joey Bart, who is the Sox big catching acquisition, is now probably out for the next 2 months. So I know you can't blame Chris Getz that he broke his hand in tonight's game, but even when he was acquired, I was like, that guy, the former, first round pick guy, that guy, like I sort of felt like his hype was long gone, and it was not even like maybe serviceable. I wasn't excited about Joey Bart at all. And I wasn't really excited about Doyle either. I felt like you could have gotten better outfield help if that's what you were really looking for. Castillo didn't really blow my socks off. I mean, no pun intended. Look at who the Cubs got. The Cubs got Gossman and Holmes without giving up a lot. So if you were going to get starting pitching, I feel like there was better starting pitching out there to get. And Huascar, I mean, we saw him, and is he like the next coming of Sir Anthony? I hope not. But I just, nothing they picked up overwhelmed me. I felt like it was like, okay. And now that like I've seen all 4 of them perform already and not been thrilled with any of them, like Chris Getz, you're lucky I gave you a C. I could have given you a C- or a D+, and it would have held up. But like I said, the big reason for me was not getting Stevenson. And I get it. The Reds were asking a lot, but I was not prospect hugging. There were a few guys in our system that, I mean, obviously you can't trade Rock. You can't trade your first round pick or the number 1 pick. But I honestly felt like they could have given up guys and gone for it, because there's no guarantee there's going to be baseball next year. The AL Central sucks this year, and the American League in general is kind of there for the taking. So if not giving up prospects keeps us from the World Series, Chris Getz, you're on my doo-doo list.
Julie, I love the point that you bring up about the opportunistic nature of this year, because the AL Central's down. The American League in total is down. This is the type of year where you like pounce. You take advantage of this, and maybe, I don't know. Tristan Peters already looks like he's turning into a pumpkin. For a while, Sam Antonacci was like 150 WRC plus. That's down to like 120 or something like that. He's a good player, but he's probably not going to be as great as he was. I don't know if Mooney keeps up this pace. There's a lot of things on this roster where you're like, I don't know if that will happen again next year, exactly like this currently happened. So I appreciate you bringing up that point, because in some ways you look at it like, okay, well, you don't want to trade these certain guys. This thing's not fully built. And in other ways you look at like, right now is the time where we can take advantage of some shit. So I really like that point.
Absolutely. I honestly, and I, not to merge our sports teams in town, but I kind of think that with the Bears too. Like there was so much magic last year that they're not going to recapture. I'm not saying they're not going to be good this year, but that locker room, good, better, best, Ben Johnson taking off his shirt and everything. I feel like that's gone. That was last year. And you might have some different chant or some different chemistry build this year. But I feel like, those moments are so special. You get a team that's got the chemistry and perform very well in the first half, and you don't want to lose that. I look back to like the year after the Sox won the World Series. We all thought they were gonna, get another one and bring in Jim Thome and blah blah blah. They got the one World Series and that was it. Back in 1994, when we thought the White Sox were a World Series team and the labor stoppage ruined it. I still have printed tickets from that playoff series that they should have been a World Series team. And, we know how that happened, how that ended. So I feel like you can't count on anything. You have no idea if you're going to be in this situation next year. You can say, oh, Rock Chalowski will be great next year and our pitching will be wonderful and all these young guys will come through. You don't know that. You don't even know if they'll be healthy. And so I feel like you really, did I like the idea of trading Hagen Smith? No. Did I like the idea of trading Caleb Bonham? No. But would I really love a World Series team this year? Hell yeah. And if that's what it would have taken to get there, okay, great. That's fine. We've traded away plenty of other guys that we've been gnashing our teeth over. As I'm watching Dylan Cease today, put up another 10 strikeout outing, and he leads baseball in 10 plus strikeout outings this year.
Chorizo, I thought it was going to be Cam Schlitter going to be the Cy Young. It might be Dylan Cease. He might actually get a Cy Young.
Crazy.
Yep.
Because we thought he had the one chance, and then it was gone.
With the Sox. And we thought he was going to do it.
And I thought after that, I was like, he'll never repeat that. And he's
back
repeating
there again.
it right now.
Yeah,
now,
and
Julie,
when you see Chris Sale and Dylan Cease, and you're like, wow, they would look great in Sox uniform.
Even right now, yes.
You brought up the Stevenson thing, and I just have to like ask to the group here. I was like, do you feel like the Reds were playing the Sox against the Yankees and then just forgot what day the deadline ended on? Like, I just like.
Well, they were very much non-movers at the deadline, which was really weird.
I think they didn't know what day it ended.
Things they could have traded, and obviously they're kind of like a cautionary tale, right? They were kind of a playoff team, and then all the young players started to underperform, and they've got Tito there, Terry Francona, but it almost. I mean, I don't want to say this. Actually, I will say this, but no one's watching. I'll just talk to you guys. Terry Francona right now. Worse than Tony La Russa when he was with the White Sox in 2021. I'm not saying. I'm just saying he's barbecued. He's done.
It seems that the overarching coaching staff has made their hitters worse somehow.
That's what it looks like. Yeah,
and so like I mean, Beef, you were talking about like we should be going at not at the deadline, but probably in the offseason. Noel
like
Marte,
opportunistically,
should be a White Sox because they're doing something wrong with that guy. Like that guy should be hitting the ball a ton, and he's not, and it's weird. So, I think we could take anyone from the Reds org. I don't think they're doing good work over there. I think that's one thing. But Julie, you mentioned Huascar, and you said, let's hope he's not another Sir Anthony Dominguez. The guy that I was thinking that I hope he's not, because the profile matches up pretty well. And I don't want to give you PTSD from these old things, but he's got some Aaron Bummer to him, because he's gonna have the guys put the ball on the ground. And I hope that with the better defense behind him, it's not as like gut wrenching. But when the ball's in play, it's just a little different than the guy that could strike everybody out. So am I way off on this one, or do you feel a little bit of that too?
I can see the comparison, and I feel a little bad slandering him and telling him, he's Tony Dominguez all over again. He didn't look great tonight, so I was grumbly about that. But honestly, half the bullpen looked like shit tonight. Yeah. And I'm yelping, I'm screaming like, get this guy out of here. Every time I saw, like, Trevor Richards looked awful, and I felt like
he had a bad
Poor Trevor.
Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Murphy. I thought Murphy was bad.
Oh my God, the wild pitch. I mean, like, what? Yeah. That was way out there. I was like, where's it? I thought he was injured when he threw that wild pitch. I was like, that was so far off. I was like, is something wrong with the guy? You know?
He threw like two more like that Romo got to. That I was like, I'm glad he's back there. It was
yes. And by the way, when you're counting on Drew Romo to be like your smart guy making smart plays,
right, exactly.
What are we doing? Oh my God! And they were saying how he's not even wearing his helmet. Like they thought he was wearing Benintendi's.
Yeah, he was wearing Benintendi's because they're like, it looks so small and it had the tape on it. And they're like, whose helmet does he have on? And they turn and he's like, got the 23 on there.
I saw the tape.
His head must be so much bigger than Benintendi's because it just sat up there like the ice cream helmet on his head.
Like he got the nacho helmet and put it on his head.
Put it on. I'm going to go to the plate with this.
But I mean, like, I was just cringing. Not that Joey Bart is the be all end all, but as soon as he got hurt, I'm like, oh, more Drew Romo. Great. And then, Edgar Caro, who's texting or tweeting buddies that the manager told him he was the better catcher. You're going to bring him back up.
That. Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be a little bit dicey. And I've said this a million times. Who did Corey Lee piss off? Like, why? Why is he?
Yeah, he's personally. He's way out of favor.
Oh God, why?
There's always a guy in the company who just does wrong by someone, and they get pushed down, and he's that guy for 100%. And I'm not a fan of Corey Lee, but it's also at the point where like a lot of stuff's going wrong here. Like, and this guy, they don't even call his number. Like, they was just stay down there. We're not even mentioning you, motherfucker.
Right. I mean, if he's persona non grata in your organization, trade him. Yeah, somebody, hey, people are looking for catchers apparently. Exactly. I was just cringing. I'm like, God, why? And I know it might have been Carrie who said it, was talking about Kyle Teal as the catcher of the future, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't loving Kyle Teal a whole lot. I mean, I know
he was rough,
but when he came back, I was like, I remember liking you a lot better last year. So it is frustrating. I mean, you need a catcher. And I keep hearing from people like a lot of it is who the pitchers like throwing to better.
Right.
I get it. That's a thing. But their pitching staff's been kind of rough lately. I'm sorry. The fact that we don't have a pitcher who can go 7 innings, that bullpen is going to be screwed.
We have one that can go 6.
Only Sean Burke get 6 for you. I mean, the rest of them.
I mean, is it too much to ask for a quality start from a guy? I'm baffled
like
by this.
Species around here.
It really is. I mean, I think they're like one of the 4 worst teams in baseball when it comes to like pitchers giving you depth. And that bullpen, as much as I'm ragging on them tonight, I mean, their arms are going to fall off. And yes, you can call up some guys in September, and maybe you get Hagen Smith or one of those guys up here to help. But you don't want to go into the postseason with a bunch of guys who are dragging their arms out to the mound. So, I love Grant Taylor. You know that, Beef.
I do know that. And he's been good. I mean, he's been terrific. I'm with you. Well, do you think, in hindsight, though? Having this discussion, because you're totally right there, and Chorizy-E's been talking about it too. They're burning the bullpen up by doing this. Do you think they should have got another bullpen arm? Like they got the young man who pitched tonight, and actually I thought he pitched okay. The pitch that Abreu hit for to tie the game was 10 inches below the strike zone.
Yeah,
like that was the pitch I wanted him to swing at too. He just happened to punch it through the middle. Like that was a little bit bad luck. Do you think they should have gone and got another reliever because these guys are dying on the vine out here?
You either needed to go get another reliever or you needed to be ready to bring somebody up from AAA. And, I keep looking at the reports on what Drew Thorpe is doing down there. I've been watching what Hagen Smith is doing, Tanner McDougal. They keep saying these guys are close. These guys are close. Get somebody up here. I mean, at the very least, just to replace, to give you a fresh arm. So Will Venable doesn't have to stare at the guy out on the mound going like, oh, please get us out of this inning because I can't go to the bullpen. So, I would have liked to have seen him get somebody at the trade deadline that would help the relief corps. And again, I go back to, there were a lot of pitchers moving. There were a lot of guys to be had out there. The one guy I didn't want was the guy we saw tonight, the guy who was the Cubs World Series pickup, the guy who's kind of a douchebag, the closer Chapman? Guy. What's that?
Chapman.
Aroldis Chapman. Yes. Yeah,
that's the one Chase hit the two-run homer off him. Yeah, he took his ass deep. Yeah.
Yes. I did not want Chapman. And, people kept telling me like, oh, well, if he gets you to a World Series, you'd want him. It's like, no, I don't love his off.
I prefer not.
I remember the trade deadline was coming up and Boston was still not doing great. And people were throwing the Chapman around. And me and you were sitting in the stands and I turned to you and go, is there a Chapman that's, like not a horrible person?
Because we'll take the one that's not horrible. That one. This one, although I believe is a horrible guy, so we're good on him. We don't need him to come in here.
People kept telling me, well, the White Sox brought in Mike Clevenger, and I'm like, yeah, how'd that go?
And we didn't like that.
Yeah, no one liked that. Many people I know were like, fuck this team when they brought him in there. It's like, I can't blame you guys. I'm gonna stick with him, but I hear you on this one.
Exactly. So, I mean, if Aroldis Chapman was the big closer name out there, I was taking a pass on him, but there were guys to be had out there. And I feel like I was disappointed because I thought the Sox had as much to offer as any team in baseball. I mean, the fact that their farm system has actually been built up again, that Chris Getz has done a great job building up assets down there. The Cubs are a team everyone talks about, they're depleted and they were making trades. So I thought, well, if Chris Getz is just holding on to all these guys, you have to get rid of somebody besides the fact that you have like 18 guys who play the same position. But there's got to be a way you could have turned this into something. And part of me wanted to say, like, Chris Getz, do you know there's not a second deadline? Like, this is it. Monday was it. They got
You're done on this day.
I sort of felt like, okay, you missed your window and now you're screwed. Now you're just hoping someone DFAs somebody that you can make something out of. And I think that was the thing with Luis Castillo is his numbers weren't great, but when you have Zach Bove and Brian Bannister, the pitching geniuses, you feel like, oh, they saw something. They're going to be able to straighten him out and
coach him up a little.
One start. I'm not bailing on him right now, but I did feel like that's why they rolled the dice on him, because they saw something in him that their guys would be able to fix. Now, that takes me back to why couldn't the pitching geniuses figure out that Davis Martin was tipping his pitches? Why did it take the guy sitting in the dugout, who's not even playing right now, to tell you that he's tipping his pitches? But that's a story for another day.
Good on him too, actually. Smart kid paying attention there. I like to see that from my catcher, my future catcher. He currently injured, but future catcher.
I'd like to see him do that when he's at the plate a little bit more. But Julie, before we let you go, let everybody know where they can find you, where they can follow you.
So for starters, I'm on Twitter at Julie Swyka. But as you guys know, my baby right now is my sports cooking videos. If people have not seen them, check them out. I've been doing them for almost a year now. I'm up to like 46 videos or something crazy. And it's hashtag #PlayByPlate. And you can find it on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. And I am so close. I was hoping I could announce it tonight, but it's almost there. Officialplaybyplate.com and officialplaybyplate.net. My website is this close to being done. This has been such a labor of love. I've been slaving away. It's going to have all the videos, all the recipe cards. It's going to have fun facts about Julie. There's like so much cool content going into it.
Awesome.
So I'm just still finishing up uploading all the recipes, but it's going to be awesome. And I love hearing from people. I love that you guys have been so good about promoting the videos. They're so much fun. As I'm going back and watching them, as I'm posting them, I'm like, man, I'm a crazy MFer. Like, I make weird jokes. Like, it's me unfiltered. And I feel like when people watch a cooking video, that's what they connect with. Like, they don't care what you're cooking. They care about, like, is this person fun to watch? And I'm fun to watch. Yeah. So, and I have
that's for sure.
Content. Thank you. I would love it if Mooney saw some of the like sushi stuff I've done. I think that'd be so cool.
That would be awesome. Hell yeah.
A sushi chef, but I've worked on it. And it really, like I said, hashtag play by plate. It's going to be published. The website will be published within the next 48 hours. And
Awesome.
I love it so much. And I love that everybody, especially on White Sox Twitter, has been so supportive and retweeting and spreading the word. And that's the only way it's going to go anywhere, is if people get the word out, and it builds up a following. And I would love it if Brooks Boyer and the powers that be want it to be just like White Sox based. That would be
We'd
so
love
much
that
fun.
too. That sounds good. Yeah, I love that.
Sounds good to me.
I would love it. I heard that Rock Chalowski is a foodie. So he mentioned that, I think maybe to Brooke Fletcher in one of his like interviews right after the draft. And I was like, excellent.
Well, Julie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Julie. Sorry we put you so late. It was so late.
Always appreciate
start, but we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you very soon. See you
guys
soon.
going to be at the Ozzy game on Saturday?
Of course.
We will be there. We'll be in the house.
We'll be there.
Yes.
We'll be there early. We'll be there early.
We got to make sure we see everything. Yep, we got to be there.
Okay,
for
so
it.
I'm worried about this because I'm bringing my mom to the game, and my mom is she's amazing, but she's not a spring chicken. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to make this poor woman stand in line for like 2 hours at the gates. So I'm
hopefully not.
Like,
hopefully they move everyone.
I think
quickly
I think they're doing a good job. I think they're ready for what this weekend is.
Yeah, I think so
I'm praying if we bring like a little portable stool, they'll let us check it at the bag check so that she doesn't have to stand
the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also texted our buddy Scott Merkin tonight. I said, I have not heard anything about if there's going to be any of his former teammates or players there. And I said, what are you hearing? Because Merck has the inside scoop on everything. And he said he's hearing at least 20 to 25 luminaries will be there with Ozzy. So I would love to see the Burly Man.
Be awesome.
That would just make my day.
Me and Beef heard some things. We heard the one guy shouldn't show up, but that's a whole separate topic.
We're not gonna say
it's
who,
it's a story for a different day. But we'll tell you. We'll tell you in the chat. We'll tell you in the chat.
Heck, better like text me and help. Oh yeah, okay. I know where you're going with it.
We'll hit you in the DMs. Julie, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Love you guys. I'll see you Saturday.
Love you too, Julie. Take care. Julie's the best.
She's awesome.
I got to pull the comment up because someone Ball and Kraut's like, Julie knows ball. Fucking right, Julie knows ball. Julie's a legend. All right,
she's a legend in Chicago sports radio. Like it's crazy. So
that's known.
It's crazy that she comes and talks to us.
That is the one craziest thing, Treasy. I was thinking to myself, like, why don't more people have Julie on? Like, I'm happy to have Julie on whenever I can. It's like, bro, she should be on a lot more stuff, in my opinion. So
we do have a couple of drinks from a while ago, and I'm sorry, I've been, with guests, it's hard sometimes. We don't want to just like pull them up.
You got to squeeze them,
But our guy Dan Razzie says, "Yo, glad I finally get to go home and enjoy the homies live. And for the love, R.I.P. my dog Poppy. He was my real pet dog, but Avato always."
Cheers, Danny. Dan.
Danny's going to be there Saturday too.
Oh, fuck! Right. Let's go.
We worked it out. Our guy CJ says, "We'll complain about the Sox for food. Fuck unemployment." Cheers, CJ, my friend.
Appreciate you, my friend.
All right, Beef. Here's what I need from you. I need you to pay some bills and take long enough that I can hit the bathroom.
You ready? You go right now, and I'm gonna hit the thing in a second here.
Let's go.
It's about the perfect amount of time, Tracy. About perfect. You made it back just in time. You're muted.
That was incredible. That was incredible.
I gotta let MSS know, like, maybe make that about 5 seconds longer, just to give you a little margin of safety there on like kind of getting back.
I like it.
That is a good automated one. So that everyone should go to the merch store. Go to our big cartel, FromThe108.com. Just hit the button there and buy those jersey demo shirts, man. They're fucking terrific. They're throwback. They're original ones. This is a different version of that same shirt, but get in there, buy it, buy the card. MSS made those cards with my cut up jersey.
Yes.
Yep, only 50 of them. Make the donation, and we're going to give those to Lost Boys Inc.
Mine was sold a while ago, my jersey. So I think that he sold that as game
I
used.
kept mine. There's 0% chance I would get in it anymore, but, regardless.
And then it was funny because then also, like, I was like, oh, I think I have that shirt still. So, like, when Sale was going to pitch here, I was like, I'm going to wear that. And then it was like, no, I don't have that shirt anymore. But Beef,
that's done.
Back half of the show. It's getting some stuff. It's time for Not Worth a Blog.
My God, that picture of you. Your head gained 50 pounds.
Yes.
What's that?
I don't know what that is, but I needed an image. We got an image. But
to be honest with you, I'm exceptionally light on beer. I'm down to my last beer right now. So
oh my God.
So what I might have to do, I might have to run to the beer fridge that's right here and get an old style or something like that.
Just take care of that right now. I'll explain to people what this segment is. So this is something that I came up with over the off season, and we were talking about, like, well, let's do some new stuff. And I came up with Not Worth a Blog because, like, there's a lot of times when we have ideas and they never come to fruition as a blog because there's just not enough meat on the bone. And so I figured we could talk about some of those things and go, okay, I'm going to bring the topic. And if we determine that there is enough meat, maybe we do write that blog. And so we did, like, the last time we did this, we ended up with the people don't know how to walk in the concourse thing. And so
became a blog. Yeah, that's right.
And that did become a blog because we talked about it for a while. But so tonight, I got 5 for you. I got 5 on it. We're going to get into it right now. And Beef, my first thought is I wanted to write a blog on if Davis Martin should create some new maneuver or something else a la Ryan Dempster to keep from tipping his pitches. And so I got a couple ideas that, like, Mike Vassell should kind of workshop it with him. He should wear, like, maybe like, like those big aviator, like, mirrored sunglasses.
Like a poker player? You got
yeah, like, so, like, just almost as a distraction technique. And then, or like, have like a weird mitt, like it's got like a spiral design on it or something to hypnotize.
It's a little,
like, just throw them off. So I'm wondering, is there some stuff to talk about there where we could go, like, okay, here's all the weird things that he could do to try and not tip his pitches?
Honestly, I'm in favor of these types of things. I think a long time ago I wrote a blog, about 5 things that should be explored that teams don't even think about. I was like, one of the things I put in there was like smells. Certain smells might be advantageous to players or whatever. I think that the depth of the research isn't that far out there. It's pretty narrow when you think about it. However, pitch tipping is so simplistic. I don't think you want to add elements to it, because I think you just add more opportunities to tip. Like okay, that's why, like, with the poker angle right there, the poker players try to stay pretty much completely fucking still or have the exact same fucking movements every time. So they're not tipping anything with regards to how they moved, how they handled their chips, whatever, their eyes. Like, they all have sunglasses on. They're trying to covering up everything, right? I think it's, if you add more, you just give more opportunities. And I remember hearing, I think it was Jim Tomey one time said, they asked him, what percentage of pitches are tipped? He's like, I don't know, 30%, something like that. So basically, like, there's a lot of tipping going on. Maybe not so consistent. Maybe it's one of these, like, you're kind of get half a read, like in poker. You're not 100% sure what it is, but you're kind of close. Or kind of the in blackjack, the whole carding, where they can't always see the entire card or what it is, but they can get an idea of kind of what it is. And so I think it would be exhaustive to try to add a lot of steps, movements, extra parts to it.
Fuck you. I like this idea. Now I might write it because I think he should do some weird stuff.
Write it and I'll tell you what a piece of shit it is when you write it. Look at this piece of shit. I can't believe he spent 6 hours on this.
Beef, I got a terrible pour here. Pour.
I love it.
It's like
a lot of time right there. It's
for Paul and Kraut to give us a drink. Thanks for reading my handle correctly. Thanks for giving us another drink so I could eat this ice cream here.
Sounds like Jeff T is saying that potentially do the drunk AMA in the super chat.
Sorry.
And so, I mean, you could, but we're going to finish this segment first.
We'll definitely answer some of these.
We'll answer them, of course.
Throw it. If you pay us to answer it, we will
answer it. That's right.
Now, Beef. This is a different one. This one would take a good amount of research, which is what kind of pushed me off from doing it. But we already have Miguel Vargas on the team. The Sox add Luis Castillo, and I know he trimmed it down a bit, but do they have the best Latino flow in the major leagues at this point?
I think so.
I know you got Frankie Lindor out there, you got Tatis, you got Ellie, but I don't think there's enough tandem on the same team. And Framber trimmed down too, like Framber trimmed it way down, right? Like so that's gone. That's gone. Yeah. So I mean, like, are the Sox the leader in the clubhouse Latino flow?
I think they are. I mean, like Miguel Vargas's hair situation to me, incredible. Just beautiful that he's willing to run with that and just like, and he's so stylish and cool and whatever. It just adds to it. And then the fact that you add Luis Castillo in there as well. I wish more people would go with like, let's do an outrageous hair thing. Because it doesn't matter. You got a hat on anyway. Who gives a fuck? But for those of us looking for that shit, you know, like we just had Julie on a little while ago, and she was telling me early in the season when they were on the show, she's like, this is one of the best hair teams I could ever remember. The White Sox. A lot of these guys have great flow, and talking about like Davis Martin or whatever.
Brenton Doyle does not help it.
I was gonna say not all, but there were a lot of guys with great flow, and the Latino players going in a different direction, flowing it out that way. I love Miguel Vargas's hair. I love his. He's a very stylish player. I like that. I would, if you're a young kid, you might want to try to emulate him. And there aren't a lot of those like in baseball, I think, that you try to emulate. So yeah, I would say so, Chorizy. I hope they add on to it. I hope that they can add on some players that are willing to, you know, push out a little bit. I mean, Mike Vassal's got kind of an interesting look to his whole thing. Like these guys are very much willing to be out there and give themselves a look.
Don't sleep on Waskar. I think he's got a little.
He's only 36. He's not.
Hey,
shit's gonna be gray by next year.
It's dyed, so I think it's fine. I think he's got it laid down. All right, so that's definitely not worth the blog. We didn't have enough to talk about, but I think we do agree that they are number one.
There's no question.
This one I thought was fun because I was thinking about this when we're looking at the off season. And when we start blogging, yeah, Acuna did have some nice locks, but he got rid of them too. He went
Framber. He chopped them. Yeah.
We do the off-season blogs, Beef, the trade blogs.
I can't wait to do them. They're going to be exciting this year.
Who will you and I trade more this off-season? Kyle Teal or Edgar Carroll?
Great question. I mean, it's Teal easily because I don't think Edgar Carroll has much value. Here's what happens on the catcher paradigm. If you kind of fall back to where you're catcher 2 and it's not looking like no one trades for that guy. Like we you saw it a little bit with, and I'm not saying Carroll's as bad as Corey Lee, but Corey Lee, everyone thought, oh, Corey Lee will just get traded. Yeah, no one cared. No one was interested. 0 teams were like, yeah, I'll take Corey Lee. They didn't want him. There's a level of like if you are a prospect guy who is slid to catcher 2, you're out. If you're a veteran who's made it for 10 years as catcher 2, you're in demand. They know you have these certain skills that are valuable for a team or whatever. But if you're the prospect guy that falls down there, the trade value is down. Like, you would be upset because you have like reverse implied odds, like in poker. You're giving them an opportunity for this guy to shoot the moon on your stupid ass. Like, so that I don't think you would ever do that. It's the same reason, Chorizy, why they're not going to, like, everyone's like, well, you can put Christian Opper in a trade. No, you can't. He ain't worth very much right now. He can't throw a strike. Like, you can't wait until he comes back and is good. Like,
you could surely offer him in a trade. It doesn't move the trade at all. It doesn't like. Yeah, I kind of. That's where I kind of end up. I feel like Carroll's more expendable, which makes him less likely for us to be able to use him in a trade. And Kyle Teal still has enough name recognition and enough, like upside that our fears of what could be with his little leggies is that like we will probably use him quite a bit in those trade blocks because everybody's kind of always needs catching. It's like if you have a starting pitcher to move, right? Like everybody needs starting pitching. Like the Dodgers show that the Dodgers have 14 starting pitchers, right? Like so I think that's yeah. Well, they're creative.
I thought you were going to mention my draft. Because there is the, like, when you get to the offseason, obviously you start relooking at the roster. It's like, well, we got 2 second basemen. They're both pretty good. One of them is the strong side of the platoon. One's the weak side. I think Nydroth's the stronger defender than Antonacci actually is. So maybe there's some butting up there. But you might want to look at left field and just say, well, fuck it. I want a power hitter in left field. So I'm interested to see how they go to the offseason with these boys. I wish both would stay on the team. I think they're both very valuable, useful players. But you never know how the roster squeeze ends up. And so I have a feeling that you and I will trade Antonacci and Nydroth at least once each.
I'm with you. I'm with you there. Like that's definitely going to happen. I'm going to trade Antonacci a lot. Speaking of young, handsome men. Beef. The next one I have. I was thinking of how to determine if someone was here before or if they're just now jumping on the White Sox bandwagon.
Okay.
And is the litmus test for that irrational love for Brooks Baldwin? Because I think if you're just jumping in now, you don't even know who he is. You don't even know that his real first name is Riley and not Brooks. Like you don't know it that deep, right? But I was like, okay, this might be our cutoff line of like how to separate people and go like, oh, what do you think of Brooks Baldwin? And I'm going, who? You're new here. You're new here.
I couldn't agree more with Bruhan Luke. He said, this is it. This is a blog. I agree 1,000% because early in the season or kind of in spring training, before everyone came back, there were so many memes. There was so much shit because we have a lot of memes about like he's not a prospect or his defense is under construction and all this fucking bullshit. And then there's people, I won't name who those people saying he's a twink. And there was all kinds of there was a lot of lore around Brooks Baldwin, and he hit exceptionally well in the second half last year. It was like, wow, this guy hits right-handed pitching pretty well. And it was like, he's got a spot on this team. And I know you and I were worried about it before the season. We are like, I have a feeling because he's got options, they're going to send Brooks Baldwin and Mike Vassell down because they have options. Nope, they're both just going to get hurt and be gone for the rest of the season, which was a terrible thing to happen. But you realize when you start looking at 2027, hey, these guys are back in the mix, and this is good. Like Baldwin's, he's a fast runner. He can handle the corner outfield spots, kind of. I think we probably let him run in center field a little bit. Vassell threw 100 innings the year before out of the bullpen. It's like these are valuable fucking pieces that are coming back. So I love this idea. I think there's a lot of say there's another one here in the comments. Holy shit, Brooks. they forgot about it, right? I forgot about him too because he's on 60-day IL. No, I absolutely think this is a blog. And I think like the people that are in it, the new people are gonna be like, who the fuck is that? And the people that were in on him are like, I can't wait till he's back. I can't wait till he displaces someone who's on this roster. So love it. I think that's absolutely a blog.
All right. Last one, Beef. But I told you that I might have a game for you. And so we're going to play this game to end this segment.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a terrible review of a 90s alternative album. And you got to tell me what album this is about.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull this up. I think we have 5 of them.
Okay.
We're going to go. This one's first. As much as I dislike this, I got to acknowledge that for a grunge band, they ventured out of the genre into new territory unthinkable by their contemporaries. But the final product is so off the mark. Lead singer, horrible singing, where he's pushing his range to destruction. And the guitar tone all over this is rancid, mixed very weak with a thin paper sound that repels my ears from my headphones. Oh, and the songwriting is so weak. Nothing improved from their debut as they repeat and drag out an idea to its uninteresting boiling point. This was a huge miss from the band because it seemed they were trying to prove that they aren't copycats of the big grunge bands of the day, only to look even less distinct by trying something new that lacks depth. So there's some clues in there, Beef, that might point you to the band, and then you have to guess the album.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because it does talk about this is the second album, or at least the second popular album, because it talks about compared to a debut. But it's tough to know because some of the debut albums are like if you really know the lineage, are fucking way back. They're not
right.
Popular commercial albums. So that makes me a little uncertain there. Yeah, jumping out of range, guitar tones.
I'll give you the biggest hint in here.
Okay.
They were trying to prove that they aren't copycats of the big grunge bands of the day. So I'll give you a hint that they're not a Seattle band.
Yeah, no, this sounds like Bush, to be honest with you. It sounds like Razor Blade Suitcase.
You're on the right track.
All right.
But it is not Bush, and that's the Bush Razor Blade Suitcase is a great guess. But it is Stone Temple Pilots' Tiny Music.
Okay. Tiny Music. They did widen that out on Tiny Music. For sure. And there's some great songs on there. What the heck?
Yes. Yes. And I also everybody did kind of throw STP under the bus of like they're not a grunge band, but they're trying to be and all that stuff, especially because of Core. And so
yeah.
So this is where I think that review comes from. But this is a fucking great album. I
listened back to this album. What's interesting is like when you get older, what albums do you actually listen back to of shit that you listened to when you were younger? And like this is one of them. I will definitely pick up Tiny Music and listen to some of these albums. Big Bang Baby. And there's some there's some great songs on this album.
Such a good song.
I don't think it's a play all the way through album for me, but it's I'll hit about 4 songs on here, regularly. So it's a good album.
There are no clues in this next one, but I just love the review so much. Indistinguishable from Nickelback, in parentheses, derogatory. So this person does not like Nickelback. So it's indistinguishable from Nickelback that they don't like that band.
I mean, and it could be any rock band, right? I'm going to say
it's 90s alternative, and specifically from now on, Beef, this is Seattle grunge. Like all the rest of the band
is Seattle grunge. Okay. Man, because I wanted to guess Three Doors Down right here. But
see, that'd be yes, that'd be a good guess, but you're gonna be way more upset of the comparison.
Distinguishable Nickelback and it's Seattle. It's not Soundgarden, is it?
It's not.
Okay, who is this?
It is Alice in Chains.
No, not even close. What the hell? Alice in Chains is like a metal band, basically. I mean, like, you happen to be from Seattle, but you're also a metal band.
I really did not get the comparison. I was like, but we have to post this one. I think you'll get this next one.
Okay.
Because this is just so over the top.
I'm getting crushed in this game so far.
This one is a little bit long. And this is from a person who is definitely completely fucking unhinged. It says, the definition of a psyop. as the recognition this ultimately upholds relies on the fabrication one-liners the Seattle media already spammed through its rollout before any supposed cultural impact had even occurred. The impact of grunge itself was already under effect before even the release of the singles of this record. In fact, rock music never sounded this much formulaic, so suffocated by its reified norms of composition. It's almost a caricature of itself. Not even rockabilly was this automatic, stale, tame, stiff, careless, monotonous, uninspired. You seriously want me to believe this was somehow more cutting edge and out of the curve than 90s anarcho-punk outfits, Sonic Youth, hell, even mainstream new wave acts of the time? Even the rising new metal bands brought something to the table. This, on the other hand, brings nothing other than usual necessary media puppet frontman to perform like a rebel in order to emit actual politically evocative outfits. It seems like because rock music hadn't acknowledged its death in 1960, that it somehow tried to kill itself again at least 3 times or more. And this band is probably the most stubborn, pitiful, and mind-numbing reattempt at it, like beating a dead horse that already died 3 decades ago. I'll take the Beatles were the most influential band in history take any day over the claim of this being supposedly revolutionary. Quite the opposite. It's formally conservative.
I mean, it's tough because I wanted to say Nevermind, the album Nirvana Nevermind.
Does this help, Beef? This album cover sucks. Like the baby is going to drown.
And where it was throwing me for a loop was the new metal thing. I was like, well, new metal didn't exist by then.
It's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be Nevermind.
It is Nevermind. It is Nevermind.
It's so formulaic. What the thing about Nevermind was, though, people don't realize, if you didn't live at the time when the album came out, it seems like, oh my God, this is just like a pop album or like a hard rock pop album. If you didn't live at the time, there was nothing like that on
nothing
MTV.
sounded like
MTV had nothing that looked anything like that. Then there was that, and then shit started to build around it. Like it's just hard to like tell people when I'm in 7th grade. It's like, well, that was a thing because what the fuck is that? You know, they're in the high school and there's this band and there was like all kinds of crazy shit. That's so funny, man. That's a hindsight view of that. That's not a like this is happening right now. Like,
a lot of this is just so weird and just like what are we talking about here? All right, this one I liked because these are both for the same album.
Okay.
These are both for the same exact album. Yeah, I don't like grunge, LOL. But specifically this album feels empty. The instrumentals are so boring and one song is okay. The effect they add is all right, but it does not justify the score. I hate the vocalist. His voice is everything I'm not looking for. Same for the lyrics. The next bad review is the vocals on this album were absolutely standouts, and some of the songs are very good, but the album is definitely too long. It suffers from the same problem many grunge records have, that is lack of change. The guitars aren't interesting enough, too many riffs, and guitar parts on these 15 songs feel very similar or like you already heard them a couple songs ago.
So that's definitely Soundgarden Super Unknown.
Yes. Yeah. It's
100%.
When you see two people going like, I hate these vocals and I love these vocals,
you know who that is.
It's Chris Cornell. There's
having seen Soundgarden live and we saw him in 96, fucking amazing show. It's just not you won't see that again. It's like you saw it and then you realize you watch 20 years worth of shows like, man, I'll never see that again. Like that sort of thing. It's like that's a one time with a vocalist that can do what he could do. It's just not it's not replicable.
All right, this last one. These are just vile for this album. This is fucking dog shit. I've never felt more nothing listening to something than listening to this awful excuse for artistic expression in my entire life. The other review is, I have never been so apathetic towards an album. Genuinely made me feel nothing. However, he didn't fill me with rage about the music, so it gets some points.
Oh God! All right, so what Pearl Jam album is this? This has got to be. I'll say this is Versus.
I mean, you at the band. It's 10. Like
10's a great rock album. What the hell are you talking about? Like, that's insane.
It's like, this made you feel nothing. Did you watch the video where he's like climbing the air gun?
You know, there's a song about a kid shooting up in a classroom. Like, you felt nothing about that. Oh, okay,
nothing.
Interesting.
Felt nothing.
Absolutely amazing.
I just love like how like anybody could put a review up now. So it's just like the worst version of people is in these reviews. And I was like, I had watched a video of someone doing these on like for movies, and it was like for Christopher Nolan movies, and I was like, oh, I bet the grunge albums just get fucking hammered by 18-year-olds, right? Like, so I was like, we'll do this. We'll
They absolutely did. Holy shit. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I mean, there's so many that are just like, fuck this dog shit album. And it's like, great review. I
guess if like you and I were reviewing like some Eagles albums from their heyday, we hate every single fucking song on that. Like, I like Joe Walsh, don't get me wrong, but like the rest of it is like, this is trash. Like, I'm not interested. Like, I think there's probably a version of this for everybody. Like, they're like, oh, that sucks, and you just grab the most sensational.
See, but would you take the time to log into a site?
No, I wouldn't.
Write the review?
No, I would not.
Especially that Nirvana Nevermind one is like 8 paragraphs. It's like, what? Why?
It was so small. I could see you leaning into the screen to try to fucking read it.
Why did you decide to do this?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. All right. That was
good.
That was not worth the blog.
It's nuts.
Now it's time, Beef, for thank yous and GFYs. Beef, who are you thinking of GFY?
Chorizy, I got to thank our guest, Justin, Ken W.O., Little Tina, Carrie, Julie Swyka. All of them did a great job. Under duress. We started an hour plus late. They were coming on, it's bedtime and they're on here and they're dealing fire. Very, very fun show. And thank you to you. I mean, like, you and I doing this the two-way, we waited. We had to do the ad reads, which we weren't given. My son's like, oh, sorry, I forgot to give the ad read. So I had to go back through and dictate the ad read from the prior show. Like, but we held it together, did everything on time, checked the boxes. So yeah, thank you to all.
I agree. Thank you to our guests. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Thank you to the reviewers on albumoftheyear.org. That was very, very helpful from you. And I want to shoot a special thank you to our guy Steve from Surfside, because he dropped off a whole bunch of booze for us for this weekend, Beef.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna drink it all without MySoxSummer. And
yes.
But for real, we'll have it in the tub on Sunday. Beef, I'm going to throw it at you right now. Why don't we do an all questions show?
I love it.
For the soak.
Yeah, good idea for the soak. All questions. We'll do it. I'll put it out there tonight, or maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll put it out there tomorrow. Just all
right. Be ready, chat. Be ready. You got questions for us for the Sunday soak.
Oh, yeah.
But until then, thank you everybody for tuning in, staying up late with us. We will talk to you very soon. Big series this weekend. We got to get a sweep. It's sweep or nothing this weekend. Got to get some separation. We'll talk to you all soon. We'll see you at the park. Hope everybody has a great weekend.
Thanks for spending your little Friday with us. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We gave you your fill of baseball, beer, and bull. shit. Now it's time for you to go do horny stuff. We'll see you next week. Espanol, that's adios, motherfucker.